How many times have you asked your kids to get off their devices and do something until you gave up? And parents are like, what? You're asking me to fire the babysitter. Some new information at a StudyFinds report is probably a good indicator to get those kiddos active. And in my humble opinion, limiting that screen time and avoiding the smart device for the kiddos as long as you can might be a good place to start. Well, except for this YouTube channel. Now, this study at our illustrious website focuses on the prime hours of the day for the kiddos, and that's when they're in school. So other than kicking your kiddos in the ass to get moving, study authors add that a student's school environment can go a long way towards fostering more physical activity. In a survey of over 360,000 Georgia high school students, 75% of American teens aren't getting enough exercise. Notably, researchers from the University of Georgia say lack of exercise is especially common among teen girls. According to the team, schools help shape behaviors in students for better or worse, such as dietary habits and exercise frequency. And they do have them for a good part of the day, and these are probably the kinds of things parents would like them to focus on. Although I do remember a time when parents were the driving force in motivating kids to participate. Lead study author Janani Artapa, an associate professor of health policy and management at UGA's College of Public Health, said, quote, "The length of recess, physical facilities, and social environments at schools have been found to affect physical activity among students. The state of Georgia recently put policies and programs in place intended to boost physical activity across K-12 schools. The researchers asked each teen about their exercise habits and overall school climate. More specifically, the data included information on school connectedness, adult social support, cultural acceptance, physical environment, school safety, peer victimization or bullying, school support environment, and peer social support. 35% of female teens reported less physical activity than their male classmates at 57%. Notably, physical activity frequency also declined from 9th to 12th grades among both genders, and that makes sense. I think that's when the kiddos are starting to focus on maybe where they're going to go to school and that kind of thing. Despite that trend, when a school's climate was particularly conducive to exercise, both male and female students generally ended up working out more. Bullying stood out as a factor worth mentioning. Teen girls who experienced bullying were more likely to exercise, but the opposite held true for bullied boys. Study authors speculate this may be related to gender fitness stereotypes. Now, this is interesting. I had a kid who tried to push me down the stairs every day for 2 years, and that was definitely motivation to work out. I was always the smallest and youngest in my grade. I finally got the courage to punch him in the nose, and that ended the reign of terror. Bullies tend to be afraid of retaliation, I think. Now, that's just me. I'm not saying go out and start beating people up, but ultimately sounds like we need to get these kiddos up and moving instead of sloughing and snoozing. You can check out more information on this and other studies by clicking the link in the description below and heading over to StudyFinds.com.